Good afternoon and welcome to the March 3rd closed session of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley. The City Council receives a separate stipend from the Community Services District Board of Directors if any CSD business is conducted at this meeting. I now call the meeting to order on March 3rd at 4:02 p.m. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard.
Here.
Councilmember Delgado is absent. Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
Here.
And Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Here.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next is item C, public comments on matters on the agenda only, and a friendly reminder that pursuant to the Brown Act, public comments shall be limited to only those items on the closed session agenda. There is a 3-minute time limit per person. Please complete and submit a blue speaker slip to the city clerk. All remarks and questions shall be addressed to the presiding officer or the city council. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
No request to speak, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. That brings us next to our city attorney. Mr. City Attorney, what matters will the council be discussing in closed session today?
Mr. Mayor, there's one item on the closed session calendar, and that is Conference of Legal Counsel pertaining to significant exposure to litigation. It's pursuant to Government Code Section 54956.9D2 and involves one potential case. And the Brown Act requires that whenever we have significant exposure to litigation listed on closed session calendar, that we publicly announce the reason why the city attorney believes there's significant exposure. And in this case, it's due to an appeal that was filed by the mall owner challenging the city's notice of violations with respect to the life safety and fire protection violations. That's the
Thank you
only
very
item
much.
for closed session today.
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. And with that being said, we will go ahead and recess into closed session. Welcome back to our closed session meeting here in the city of Moreno Valley. At this time, I will turn it over to our city attorney. Mr. City Attorney, was there any reportable action taken in closed session today?
Mr. Mayor, there was no reportable action taken in closed session. Is that what everybody's waiting for?
Thank you, Mr. City Attorney. So with that, we will officially conclude our closed session at 5:32 p.m. and we'll be back in just a moment for our special presentations. Thank you. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's special presentations. This evening, we proudly recognize 14 outstanding teams whose year-long commitment has strengthened our parks, trails, and roadways throughout Moreno Valley. So every day as you're driving to and from work or the grocery store to pick up your kids from school, if you see a particular street or trail or park that looks a little extra squeaky clean, that's because of the folks and the organizations that they represent that are standing right behind me. They're putting in that work day in and day out throughout the year to make sure that we beautify the city of Moreno Valley. And our Beautify MoVal Level 3 volunteer teams and sponsors are those that we are recognizing here this evening. And at this time, if we can give them a big Moreno Valley round of applause, please. The work we celebrate tonight is part of our Beautify MoVal program. It's the city's community volunteer initiative that empowers our residents, businesses, and organizations to adopt parks, trails, and roadways and commit to keeping them clean through organized efforts. Level 3 status is the highest level of recognition within this program. It is earned by completing 12 or more cleanups within a single calendar year. That's a significant commitment. That's a lot of work. That's consistent sweat out there, boots on the ground throughout the city of Moreno Valley. In 2025, 14 teams reached that milestone. And together they completed more than 250 cleanups across 3 parks, 6 roadways, and 9 trails. Their work helped ensure that public spaces remain clean, safe, and welcoming for residents and visitors alike. The Beautify MoVal program is a year-round call to action, and the following groups stepped forward, took ownership, and led by example. They didn't just participate, they committed. And the 2025 Level 3 teams are as follows. And if you could wave or say hello or give a little shout out whenever we call your name here. First, we have Chase Banking. There we go. Give it up for them. Next up, one of our youngest commissioners, Commissioner Riley Peak. Maybe still one of our youngest commissioners. I got to fact check that one. Next up, Deckers Shoes as well. Good shoes. If you don't have some yet, go get yourself a pair. Next up, we have the Moreno Valley Wind Symphony. Next up, Real Estate by Linda. Next, Team Robinson. Twice on the list. That's impressive. The Nieto family. The Trail Seekers of Moreno Valley. and Victory Outreach Moreno Valley. And then I do want to recognize 5 others who could not join us here, but also want to make sure we recognize them. That's Amazon ONT 6 Fulfillment Center, California Rush Soccer Club, For the People Events, Gomez Quintero Team, and Nayeli Quintero CMB Realty Services. If we could give it up for them as well, please. So thank you for stepping up, for showing that leadership, for leading by example, and for giving your time and your energy to our community. This commitment strengthens our city and sets standards for others to follow. On behalf of my colleagues on the City Council, all of our staff, and our 215,000 residents here in the city of Moreno Valley, we commend you. We thank you for your leadership, generosity, and commitment to beautifying the city of Moreno Valley. And so at this time, if I can ask my colleagues on the council to join us here for a group picture and make sure we recognize all of the organizations represented here today. So let's give it up for them one more time, please.
Actually, in the blue right here, can I have you just this way a little bit? Oh. All right, we're good there. All right, and 1, 2, 3. Wonderful.
We have one more member that just joined us. Come on. We've been waiting for you. Bring this in. Oh, I thought you were part of it.
No, taking pictures.
Can I do one more? 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right.
Alrighty. Well, if we could give it up for all of the recognees once again, please, a big round of applause for them. And that will conclude our special presentations for this afternoon, but we will see you in approximately 20 minutes for our regular council meeting. Thank you for joining us.
I'm gonna squeeze it. Yes, sorry.
Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting of the City Council of the City of Moreno Valley. The City Council receives a separate stipend from the Community Services District if any CSD business is conducted at this meeting. I now call the meeting to order on March 3rd at 6:01 p.m. Would any of my colleagues like to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance this evening? Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, and would anyone like to lead us in the invocation? We traditionally have a pastor or a clergy member that comes in, but they won't be able to attend. So, if no one would like to, if you don't mind, I can lead us in the invocation for this evening. So, council member.
If you're able to stand, please stand. Place your right hand over your heart. Ready, begin.
Okay. If you would please join me in bowing our heads and taking a moment out of our day to give thanks and to say a little prayer. Father God, we come before you this evening as one united front here in the city of Moreno Valley, asking for wisdom, asking for clarity, asking for guidance, asking for your protection over every single person and organization that is represented not only here in this chamber, but across the city of Moreno Valley, our 215,000 residents, that they have everything that they need provided to them, that they would have a peace of mind and clarity and have answers for the questions that they may have during times like these where so much is going on around us. But we thank you for giving us the opportunity to be here, to be able to conduct the people's business, and to be able to move our city forward. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Thank you, everyone. Next up, we will move to item D, the land acknowledgement. We wish to acknowledge that we are on the unceded lands of the Cahuilla and Payomacahuicham and Luiseño, who as original inhabitants and now as sovereign tribal nations have continued to live and thrive upon these lands since time immemorial. Next up is item E, roll call. Madam Clerk, I'll turn it over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard.
Here.
Councilmember Delgado is absent. Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Here.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Next up, item F, motions to excuse. Do we have any requests, Madam Clerk?
We do not, Mayor. Councilmember Delgado did not wish to have his absence excused tonight.
Understood. Thank you. We will now move into G, staff introductions, please.
Patty Rodriguez, City Clerk.
Paul Bradvica, Management Analyst.
Stephen Quintanilla, City Attorney.
Brian Mohan, City Manager.
Lonnie Jimenez, Assistant City Manager, Administration.
Felicia London, Chief Financial Officer, City Treasurer.
Sean Kelleher, Assistant City Manager Development.
Angelica Fraustulipo, Community Development Director.
Kyle Warsinski, Economic Development Director.
Jason Nikolai, Electric Utility Division Manager on behalf of Melissa Walker, Public Works Director.
Jeremy Bubnick, Director of Parks and Community Services.
Robert Cardenas, Human Resources Director.
Jesse Park, Fire Chief.
Sarah Mack, Chief of Police.
Thank you, team. As always, a pleasure to be here in the chamber to conduct the people's business alongside you. Next up is item H, approval of order of agenda, and I'll look to my colleagues to see if there are any requests. If not, a motion and a second to approve the order of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the order of the agenda.
Second that motion.
There is a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard.
Yes.
Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next up is item I, public comments on matters not on the agenda. Oh, yes, excuse me. Before we move into that, I was just informed a moment ago that there is an update from city staff, and at this time I would like to actually hand the floor over to our fire chief, Jesse Park, for an update. Sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would like to update the council on the mall. The mall has been making steady progress since we last discussed. Today, the mall requested us to go out there at 3 o'clock because they were working hard on their fire doors, and we did go out there. We have inspected all their fire doors. They believe that by tomorrow morning, they'll have everything completed. We have a scheduled meeting with them at 1 o'clock. However, we have told them that if they are available sooner and they've completed their progress, then we would go down there at any time in the morning, and provided that they can provide all the appropriate documentation, then we would be able to lift the order to vacate. This information has been posted on the media website.
Thank you very much, Chief, for the update. And yes, as the Chief mentioned there at the end, if you would like to see the update in writing, we do have that updated on our city's platforms on moval.org/mall, as well as any other updates on our official city platforms like our social media pages. Thank you very much, Chief. We will now move into item I, which is public comments on matters that are not on the agenda. The city now offers language translation services through a free app called Wordly. This app automatically translates a variety of languages into English and vice versa. To use this service, please scan the QR code at the speaker's sign-up table. For the visually impaired, please use your earphones or earbuds to listen to the verbal translation. If you do not have any such listening devices, please let the city clerk know, and we will gladly let you borrow some for this meeting. La ciudad ahora ofrece servicios de traducción de idiomas a través de una aplicación gratuita llamada Wordly. Si gustan usar este servicio, por favor avísele a la secretaria y entregue una tarjeta para hablar. Para usar la traducción, escanee el código QR que está en la mesa junto a la puerta. Before we move on to public comments, I'd like to remind everyone to direct their comments to the City Council. For comments on tonight's agenda, each speaker will have a total of 3 minutes to comment. Madam Clerk, are there any requests to comment on any items not on the agenda?
We do, Mayor. The first two speakers are Merrick LeBlanc, followed by Mr. George Haig.
Good evening.
Good evening. Hi. Go ahead and start. Sorry, it's my first time. Okay, so just trying to, I just wanted to say.
You'll restart his time. Sorry, it's your first time. Let's go ahead and give you your full 3 minutes back. Give us just a second.
Oh, I don't need that. We're good.
Okay.
Don't worry.
The floor
Don't
is
worry.
yours, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Anyways, I want to say welcome and thank you, if you will. Right, the California, Nevada, Hawaii District of Kiwanis wants to inform you all that we want to rejuvenate and also start the Kiwanis Club here back in Moreno Valley. And I wanted to let you know that we're going to be making some phone calls to some of you, and we wanted to make sure we have the opportunity for you to allow some of your teams and be able to start a civic organization back here in the community. And if you do not know about Kiwanis, Kiwanis has been around since 1915. And my club, I'm a part of the Riverside Kiwanis. We've been around for 106 years. And believe it or not, I started back 40 years ago. Yes, I look young. 40 years ago, I had the opportunity to be in the Moreno Valley Kiwanis Club. And so it obviously has dissipated over the time because of the community ability and so on that goes on out there. And I just wanted to let you know that Kiwanis is coming back, if you will. And so our organizational meeting is actually going to take place March 26th at 6 p.m. That's March 26th at 6 p.m. at the Chamber, the Moreno Valley Chamber. So we want you to be able to take a few moments, come by and see us and support us. Let your teammates know that from that perspective. And we look forward to being over at the Chamber on March 26th at 6 p.m. Again, Merrick, that's all I got. I'm under my time frame. I'm good, right? Does anybody have a question for me?
Not at this time. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Have a great day.
The next three speakers are Mr. George Haig, followed by Seth Cox, followed by Mr. Greg Langworthy.
Good evening. I will reach out again to some of you to meet with me. Hopefully it'll happen. Tomorrow at this time in this location, there will be a meeting on the toxic diesel truck routes through Moreno Valley and their proximity to sensitive receptors, and hopefully everybody who's listening to this, and maybe those behind me, will come tomorrow at 6 o'clock and give their input after a short presentation. I understand it'll be more of a conversation than 3-minute limits, so please be there. One thing the city needs in regards to this is the fine that you levy against truck drivers. Right now, it's $86. That's the cost of doing business. Whether you park in the wrong place or you're pulled over next to a sensitive receptors, $86 does not do it. Does not pay for the enforcement. City of Chino right now has $250 for the first time, $500 for the second time, $750 for the third time, and they're moving up. They're going to change it to $500 for the first time, $750 for the second time, and $1,000 for the third. That should actually be posted on signs like you see along the freeway, not just say don't drive here. Well, if you drive here, you're going to be fined $1,000 if it's your third time being caught. Hopefully the city will look into doing that, and you'll be able to help pay for the enforcement of the money. Chino is also putting up mobile signs, flashing mobile signs indicating you don't drive here, instead of the just standard type signs that are ones you have to read as you whiz by. Another point I want to make again is R10 in the northeast part of Marina Valley does not belong there. When you approve the general plan update, you can ask for that to be removed. Maybe have a private conversation with the city attorney about this and find out if you're able to remove that R10. That should have never been placed there in the first place unless there is a well-connected developer. A lot of us who live in that part of our town have no problem with the fact that there are no sidewalks anywhere in the Northeast, that there is no public transit anywhere in the Northeast, that there is no good bike lanes anywhere in the Northeast, that there's no people parks anywhere in the Northeast. We all moved there knowing that, and we all appreciate it, but it's not a place to put high-density zoning. You don't put places that are high-density that don't have those things. And there's no sewer system currently there anywhere in the Northeast. So hopefully when it comes before you, you'll remove the R10 that should never have been placed there. It's just totally inappropriate. We did not have a council member at the time that we could talk to about this. We were not represented, and it was just forced down our throats at that time. Please remove it. The people will appreciate it for many years to come. Thank you very much.
The next two speakers are Mr. Seth Cox, followed by Greg Langworthy.
Good evening. Can I get Mr. LeBlanc's minute 20 back for, can you pass it on? Okay. Seth Cox, District 3, resident of the area before it was Marina Valley since 1977. Council, staff, audience, I could talk about a lot of things. Mall, payment registers, whatever. I have a story to tell. The story is entitled Superheroes Without Capes. Okay? I'll try to get through this. On December the 3rd, out at Harupa and Highland, there was a house fire. We happen to know the young lady that was living there. We've known her since she was born. I swear I wasn't going to do this, but she got called 911, trying to report things, trying to get out. She was trapped in the upstairs of the house, couldn't get out. She had to jump out the window, okay? She was injured as she jumped out. At the time, one of our superheroes, the sheriff's department, was in the area. The 911, I guess, told them to look for smoke because she couldn't give the address, okay? My superhero is Sheriff Leon. He responded at his own peril of the fire and the Tesla that was parked right beside the house. Moved forward, her and a citizen came by, and they pulled her out of the bushes to safety. She was in a coma for 2 months over at Arrowhead, but she got out. She is recovering. We will meet with Deputy Leon later this week to thank him personally. So that's my superhero story. I will steal from Jack Nicholson in the 1992 movie of A Few Good Men. He had the same thing about, you want me on the ball? We want them on our streets, and we need them on our streets. Thank you.
The next speaker is Mr. Greg Langworthy.
So my name's Greg Langworthy, live in Wildemar, but I go to the Board of Supervisors meetings quite a bit. Extian Gutierrez is I think is a very good supervisor. I think he's from your area. But what our job is to kind of examine the election system in Riverside County. What these are audit reports from the Prop 50 election. This is the fourth election we've audited. And the very simple way we audit, probably the best way to understand it, in order for an election to be valid, the number of votes counted by the voting system needs to equal the number of voters who voted, which should seem very obvious. When you guys have a vote, I guess there's 4 of you there, if they ever counted 5 or 6, you would know there was something wrong with the system. So in our system, in the Prop 50 election, there were 45,896 more votes counted than the number of voters who voted. We don't think our registrar understands how that happened. Fortunately, our sheriff is working with our registrar to figure out how that happened. In fact, he's going to simply count the ballots and see if he can figure out where that discrepancy happened. I sent an email to, I think your clerk is Patty Rodriguez, is that right? So she'll probably forward you an update. We've been working very cooperatively with our supervisors. We think our supervisors are some of the best because they've opened this dialogue. We're trying to get to the bottom of what happened in Prop 50. The same thing happened in the 2024 election. 33,888 more votes were counted in the 2024 election than the number of voters who voted. We think the problem might be in the election system. We don't know. Our registrar is an excellent registrar, and the only reason that we have these is because his election workers are so good at producing paperwork, and he gives us that paperwork. And without that diligence, I could not report the numbers that I'm reporting to you tonight. So I just want to keep you updated with the progress that we're making, how we got our evidence. So if you read an email, you'll know who's been doing it. We're just volunteers. We're not professionals. But we have a lot of good bookkeepers, a lot of moms that know how to count, and that's where we're getting our evidence. So we'll keep you updated, but it's thank you for having me here. Thanks.
The next 2 speakers are Shanae McGill, followed by Christopher Baca.
Hello, good evening. So I'm here on behalf of the Moreno Valley Mall. I wanted to just give a brief update if everybody hasn't gotten that just yet. We are down to 2 doors. Out of the 4 doors, we are down to 2 doors. I've provided everyone a letter from the Steve Miller with Neighborhood Fire, who's working on these doors and certifying these doors. Out of the 143 items that were determined unsafe and issues with the mall, as of 5 o'clock today, we are down to 2 doors. So we're just asking if you guys can give us some grace. We have fire watch on those doors and those corridors. We have cameras on those corridors. We have vendors around the clock. They're working day in, day out. They're not even leaving the mall. If you guys drive by the mall, you'll see trucks that say One Pro, MGS. They're there all night. Unfortunately, there are 4 doors that are in that same section. They're all in one section that we have to have built and replaced, and those are going to take about 2 weeks to come. But that's where we're at as of this very moment. So if you guys can give us some grace so we can get people back to work, we'll be very appreciative.
Thank you. And before we call up our next speaker, I believe staff wants to just share an update as well.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, council members. I think Mrs. McGill arrived a little late and missed the update from our fire department, which conflicts a little bit with where she says they are as far as status. But I'm going to defer to Jesse Park, our fire chief, for providing a little bit of an update that he had already stated.
Thank you. Yeah, that conflicts with the information that we have. When we were there, they said that they had all the material on site. Last night, they had 40 doors that needed to be completed. Today, they showed us that there was still 25 that needed completion. So they said that they were going to work through those, and that's why we said that we would come back tomorrow. Also, Ms. McGill said that there was 2 left, but then she followed that up by saying there was 4 that still needed to be ordered. So that just seems to be some conflicting information. And then also, they are not on fire watch for the doors. That is a separate document, and we would have to go and investigate the specific doors that they wanted to be placed on fire watch. There is an option to do that, but we would need the documentation. They have to have a specific log, and all of those are documented.
And Mayor, council members, I would just like to add this information that was provided in the 4:30 update today has been posted to our website, and the city's stand steadfast in working with them all to get them open as quick as possible. So as we are in contact through Mall's legal team as well as the actual contractors, we will continue to work with them directly to get any inspections that are needed throughout tomorrow to try and get them all open. Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Clerk, let's go ahead and move into our next speaker, please.
Thank you, Mayor. The next speaker is Christopher Baca.
Good evening. I kind of missed what the gentleman was speaking on the elections, but I was just going to remind the community that they are now accepting applications for poll workers, and you can also be an observer. And this specifically goes out to the conspiracy theorists that say that our system isn't working well. And as a gentleman, I only got the tail end of it, mentioned that we have a really good register of voters, and the process is, in my opinion, flawless. But of course, there can be computer glitches, which may be the case. But otherwise, fill out that application and volunteer to work at the polls, and you'll see how proficiently our voting system works. Thank you.
The next speaker is Luis Palomares.
Tired. Luis Palomares, community activist. Wow, I'm glad they're getting it up and running, but golly, a lot of people are still out of work, and everything else is closed in the mall. It's a sad situation, and I hope it gets done sooner than later. And it didn't have to go here. It didn't have to go to this. It didn't have to happen, but it did. Here we are at the 11th hour trying to catch up and fix everything that needs to be fixed. Okay, on another note, last time Mr. Cox was talking about all the money we have poured into that mall through the years. Why? See, the people don't know all this. I barely found all this, and I've been here coming every meeting for 20 years. I don't know, long time. And all this money see, this is the stuff that happens behind closed doors in the, when you have your special meetings behind the scenes. We don't know all this. This is the consent calendar stuff that happens. Then we find it out later. I wouldn't have known about all this, but Mr. Cox talked about it. What, when, how did we get in this deep ditch? The money pit. It's like the War of the Roses. Did you ever see that movie? My God, it's a tragedy that we owe And we put that much money into this mall. And not only that, with this new museum, how much money have we poured into that? I mean, come on, let's stop doing the Mickey Mouse or the Monkey Miss, or, you know, I don't want to insult Mickey Mouse, but golly, everything's a Mickey Mouse deal here, you know? I mean, that museum, you know, how much money have we already poured into that, in the redevelopment of the mall? How much money there? Why didn't they let the planning commission know all of this was owed, all of this was happening, all of this was poured into that mall before they said, yeah, let's do the upgrade of the mall. Let's do this, let's do that. We're all in the dark here. Maybe you gotta stop having those secret meetings. Everything has to be up front so we can know, we the people, for the people, by the people. Or is it for the city, or is it for the mayor? Who do we serve here? Are we here to, you know, my penny, you wanted my penny, I gave it to you, but for what? What? It's not the penny. I could afford 10 pennies more, but it's the what you do with our pennies is the sin here in the city. How much money are we going to keep on pouring into this mall? And as far as the library, Cox said 80-something thousand to rent it for a year. I mean, and then to staff it, and we have all these little Mickey Mouse libraries all over the city because the mayor wants them. He can't think out of the box. All that money we put into each of these libraries to staff them, $100,000 a year, 4 times. We could have had a building, paid a mortgage on a building, because we got land here. Oh, we can't afford it. Oh, yes, we can. We can afford to pay $2 million lawsuits, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, come on. We have the money. We just misspend the money. We just use it for what, you know, your personal projects are. I'm just, you know, appalled by all the money we...
The next speaker is Roy Blecker.
I hope I'm not insulting Mickey Mouse by donning the Ratfink shirt, but let's get to this mall. I don't care what you're saying or how it is, that mall should not open till the $500,000 to the cops is paid. Period. End of story. That's an obligation that was provided, money. If this mall does not have the cash flow to do it, we should know this now before we start making promises that are going to wind up costing us more money. Along with the little video I sent you from the meeting on January 7, 2025, of yours truly warning you what was going to happen, why you were in the situation you are today. Why don't you go back and look at Mrs. Hodges, who was representing the Maulers, that's what she said, and all the promises were made there, and were they kept? What in the heck is going on here? Are we going to dump more money? Are we going to have a mayor who's cost us $2 frickin' million in payouts in one shot, who has illegally, go ask Mike Hestron, our district attorney, sat up there in the dais with that attitude and shaking his head. Please sit beside me like you've promised to do for 9 years and dispute anything I'm saying, because you can't, because you know I am speaking the facts and the truth, and you are living the lie. Prove me wrong. Everyone here, you're not going to turn the reputation of this city around by doing the things you're doing. Evidently, you have not learned the first law of holes. First law of holes are when you're in one, stop digging. And until you can prove to the community that the mall and everything else, that we're not digging a deeper hole, then we should be planting that seed now, or figuring out how it's going to wind up. And why, as Hurricane Louise said, why were we dumping more money into this when you were warned? You had the evidence, you chose to ignore it. Will 26 dawn a new day in Moreno Valley? Sure doesn't look like it, but keep hope alive.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments on items not on tonight's agenda.
Thank you very much, Madam Clerk, and thank you to all of our public speakers as well. We will go ahead and bring it back up to the dais and move into item I, which is the joint consent calendars. And before I open the consent calendar for public comment, I will ask my fellow council members if there are any items that they wish to remove from the consent calendar for separate action. Seeing none, let's go ahead and move into public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak on the consent calendar?
We do not, Mayor.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. So we will go ahead and bring it back up to the dais for any questions, comments. I do have just a brief comment on J2, just to highlight. Actually, I don't think that's J2. It is J9, excuse me. That's approved naming of new park located on the corner of Mystic Sky Avenue and Sunset Crossings Drive. Won't ask for a staff report unless staff really wants to go into that, but I just wanted to highlight this for the community. I'm not sure what the timeline is yet for that, but just wanted to make sure that the community is aware that at some point in the future, there will be a new park called Sunset Crossings Park there at the corner of Alessandro and Nason on the northeast corner within a residential housing tract that will be built in the near future. So just wanted to highlight that good news for our community. My colleagues to see if there are any other comments or questions. Seeing none, we can go ahead and entertain a motion to approve the consent calendar.
Make a motion to approve the consent calendar.
I second that motion.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard,
Yes.
Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez,
Yes.
and Mayor Cabrera.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We do not have any public hearings, so we'll go ahead and move past K to item L, general business. And we do have L1. Yeah, item L1, ordinance to amend Title II of the Moreno Valley Municipal Code to add Chapter 2.20.080, establishing a Veterans Commission, and we will hand it off to our City Manager, Brian Mohan, for a staff report.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. On February 3rd of this year, council had directed staff to proceed with the establishment of a Veterans Commission, designating the Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Delgado as an ad hoc committee to work with me to develop the various characteristics of the Veterans Committee. In doing so, we met and they chose to mirror the Senior Citizen Commission in most of the verbiage. So what is before you tonight is adding section 2.20.080, which is a replica of the Senior Citizens Commission, except for two small adjustments. And those adjustments, in essence, change the makeup of the members, which they chose to go with 5 members as opposed to 9. And on the terms, they chose to go with 2 years as opposed to 3. So before you tonight is, in essence, the Senior Citizens Commission verbiage with those 2 adjustments that I stated. All of the information is included in the staff report as well as the accompanying ordinance. This would be the first read, and then the second read would be the next meeting if approved tonight. With that, concludes my comments, but I'm available for any questions you may have.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. We'll go ahead and bring it back up to the dais for any council questions of staff. Seeing no questions, we'll go ahead and move into public comment. Madam Clerk, do we have any requests to speak?
We do not, Mayor.
Looks like we have one.
Luis Palomares.
Luis Palomares, I'm glad about this for the veterans that they're going to be, taking forward, because we need something like that, especially that our boys are on the front lines right now. A lot of them. It's sad that they got to be out there because there was no need for this. There was no need for this. It's all based on a lie. Watch both sides of the story. Don't just watch the right. Watch the left also, so you can get a better picture and make a valid decision about what's going on really in our world as a whole, because our veterans are going to be the ones that are going to be coming back a mess, and it breaks my heart that this is going on. Like I said, it didn't have to happen. So this is great for our veterans that are here in our community, and we got the big base here, like Sadiq says. So let's get it on and let's make it go forward. And my hat's off to this, and I salute them, the ones that are out there right now. That how many have we have already lost? At least about 8 of our veterans, our soldiers out there. And not only that, also our thousands of people, in Jerusalem. They started the mess. So here we are jumping on the bandwagon. He orchestrated it all. The guy over there, he's using our military, he's using our president to justify this war. And it's no good. I hope it's over with quick. Like, we don't have no plan when we're going to get out. We didn't even have no plan going in, out. Who knows what's going on? Who knows what? And then with the media, how do you get the real truth of it all? Listen to everything all around, all media, so you can make a good decision where we're at with it all. Thank you so much.
The next speaker is Sheena McGill.
So I just want to make a little correction about what I said earlier. There's a total of 2 corridors. Out of those
Ms.
2
McGill, I don't mean to interrupt you. Just we're on the item regarding the Veterans Commission. The comments have to be limited to the Veterans Commission, not any topic outside of that.
Okay.
I just want to make sure we clarify
Where
that.
do you recommend I send this? Because you guys left, and there's been a significant update since then. So where should I send that to?
Yeah, I think feel free to communicate or through the proper channels, and then maybe after the meeting or shortly, we'll make sure to get you connected directly with our fire chief and our
Perfect.
staff.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Mayor, that concludes all of public comments on this item.
Mr. Mayor, if I could, each day when we go, we meet with the mall owner and his staff. Ms. McGill has never been in there. She was never been introduced to us. I don't know her role or where she's getting the information from. But the verification comes from the contractor, their head of security, and their VP. And that's what we verify when we go and inspect. So new information that comes in at the last minute isn't something we can verify. However, like I said, we will be out there as soon as the mall owner requests us to be out there.
And Mr. Mayor, I've been communicating directly with the legal counsel for the mall as well, and they represented to me that there are no other attorneys or no other parties or persons representing them on legal issues.
Thank you. Okay, so seeing there are no further public comment on this Veterans Commission item, we will go ahead and bring it back up to the dais for any council deliberation if desired.
I don't have deliberation, I just have a comment. I would like to thank the resident that brought this forward. He's not here tonight, but I'm pretty sure he'll be here at the third read. And I'd like to thank Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Delgado for all of the time that they took sitting with City Manager Mohan to get this done and move through so that we can, as we always say, we are a military town, so that we can at least be able to establish this committee. And I'm sure this will probably be like our Senior Citizen Committee, just as popular. And for those of you that don't know, our Senior Citizen Committee is typically a fight for people trying to get placed on that committee because they have lots of ideas and lots of conversations they like to have. So I would just like to thank Mr. Sadiq, aka the Inland Empire Informer, for bringing this forward.
And I also want to just say that I'm very glad that this has, gotten to this point and where we can finally establish it officially, after the second read. And I look forward to, getting updates from that first meeting. And as, my colleagues have said, and members of the public has said, you know, there's always more work to do when it comes to our veterans and making sure that we provide them with all the services and resources that they have sacrificed so much for. And so just really, really glad. Also want to thank Donovan Sadiq and also Scott Heverin. Donovan clarified at one meeting that the idea came from Scott Heverin. So I'm just glad that we all have rallied behind this idea. Mayor Pro Tem and Councilmember Delgado will be leading the charge on that commission, and I look forward to the help that they will be providing to our veterans and our military.
I'd also like to thank Scott and Donovan, both residents of District 1, who brought this forward. And I really appreciate the opportunity to have more commissions, to bring in more residents to come and, you know, help lift the heavy work of running the city. It takes a lot of hands, and, you know, in a democracy, we all have a part, and to engage our residents and provide opportunities to bring them in, I think is our way to reduce apathy and to make sure that we're all engaged and that we have everyone at the table when we're making decisions, especially when we make decisions that affect a certain group, that we have them at the table. So this expands our diversity, our inclusion, and I appreciate the direction that we're headed. And with that, I motion to approve staff's recommendation.
I second that.
Thank you. There's a motion and a second to approve. Madam Clerk, please call for the vote.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Bernard?
Yes.
Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz?
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez?
Yes.
And Mayor Cabrera?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. That motion passes with 4 yeses. And next on our agenda are the Regional Commission and Committee reports. We do have 3 this evening. I'll be providing 2, and then I'll hand it over to Councilmember Bernard for RTA. So just a couple of brief updates. The first one is for the Riverside County Transportation Commission meeting held on February 11th. On January 9th, the Office of Governor Gavin Newsom released a budget proposal for fiscal year 26-27 totaling $348.9 billion. The proposed budget maintains the entirety of one-time transportation funding included in the fiscal year 25-26 budget, including $14.6 billion. RCTC requests accepted into the House Appropriations Bill for Transportation, Housing, and Urban Development, and pending funding includes the $850,000 for the Metrolink double track project, Moreno Valley to Paris. This is the station just on the west side of the 215 freeway. The next meeting is scheduled to be held on February 23rd, 2026. That concludes my report on the last RCTC meeting. And my second and final report will be for the Regional Conservation Authority Board of Directors meeting from February 2nd. And a federal update, the continuing resolution funding the government at the 2025 levels has lapsed as of last Friday, January 30th, and the government has partially shut down. The House is expected to vote on a deal that would fund the remaining appropriations by tomorrow. If signed by President Donald Trump, the fiscal year 26 appropriations legislation would continue to fund the HCP land acquisition program of the Cooperative Endangered Species Conservation Fund at $26 million. Additionally, the appropriations legislation would include the report language crafted by House Appropriations Committee, Interior, Environment, and Related Agencies Subcommittee in response to requests from congressional representatives that work with the RCA. The next Board of Directors meeting is scheduled for March 2nd, 2026 at 12:30 p.m. That'll conclude my reports, and I'll hand it over to Councilmember Bernard for the Riverside Transit Agency.
Thank you, Mayor. Tonight I'm providing updates from the Riverside Transit Agency Board of Directors meeting held on February 26th. The board approved and accepted the State Transportation Development Act, triennial performance audit results for fiscal year 2022 through 2024. The board also authorized staff to award a contract to CT&T Concrete Paving Incorporated in the amount of $283,000 with a 10% contingency of $28,000 for a total project cost of $311,000 for enhancements at 16 bus stop locations across several cities, including Moreno Valley. Our next scheduled meeting is to be held on March 26th, and that concludes my report on the last Riverside Transit Agency Board Directors meeting.
Thank you, Councilmember. That'll conclude our Regional Commission and Committee reports. We'll move now to item N, Employee Association reports. We do not have one this evening, which brings us to the famous City Manager's report.
Thank you, Mayor, council members. Just want to remind everyone that this weekend is going to be daylight savings time, so we will be springing forward on Sunday. And then on the following Saturday, the 14th, just want to remind everybody that we do have the multicultural and arts event here at the amphitheater from 2 p.m. to 6 p.m. That day. That concludes my comments. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. City Manager. We will bring it back up to the dais for item P, City Council closing comments, and we will first go to Councilmember Bernard.
Thank you, Mayor. So first, I would like to, because this has been the last week and a half, has been a lot going on in the city with the mall closure. I would like to thank all the residents that came out last week, Thursday, residents and business owners within the mall that came out to see the presentation, understand why the mall was closed down, and to give their feedback and understanding of what's going on. I'd also like to thank our fire marshal, our fire chief, and our building inspector who have been going out there every day to get this done and open because, again, as we said before previously and will continue to say, we never wanted to shut down the mall. It was not something that we wanted to do, but it was a decision that had to be made. But the good news that is coming out of this is the owner is addressing these concerns and he is addressing them quickly. So we are very hopeful to have that mall open sometime this week. So again, I want to thank all of the business owners, the residents that came out to have that conversation with us. I do want to mention I will not be at the next meeting, so I will not be asking for an excuse as I am going away to handle business for my other job at UC Riverside, so I will not be here at the next meeting, just putting that out there now. So there's no, like, did she run away? I did not run away. And as I have always stated, this administration just does not, there's no time clock, Miss Patty. This administration does not cease to surprise me at any moment. I can get it done in a minute to two. It doesn't matter to me. At any moment, it does not. I would like the government and people to just understand that this government wants you to believe what you hear and not what they do. And I say that with the utmost disrespect to this government. Department of War, I'm still going to call it the Department of Defense because that's what we named her. It's the Department of Defense. And how we've got baited into a war that Bibi Netanyahu has been trying to bait the United States into for 30 years, and we finally found someone that could bite. And we have been saying for the last 30 years, and you can look at it, I am a student of foreign policy and foreign wars, that the last it's always 2 weeks away from having nuclear capabilities. And I don't know if everyone remembers the 12-day war that happened over the summer in June. We obliterated their nuclear capabilities, so I don't know how we ended up back in there with their nuclear capabilities 2 weeks away. I'm gonna need 2 + 2 = 4 to this government. I don't care if it is the files. I don't care if it is Kash Patel drinking beer with the Canadian team while we fly his girlfriend all around town, or Kristi Noem and Corin Lewandowski, or the Department of Labor Secretary who took our money and decided to use that money for her party and tried to write it off as something else, or my personal favorite, how he sued the government for $10 billion of my tax money and your tax money, developed a board of peace, and guess how much money he transferred to the board of peace? $10 billion. So at some point, America, we broke up with this man. I let y'all get a divorce from him. And yet here he is back again, and his wife is playing some type of role because she's at the UN Council, because apparently, while he said at 3 a.m. in the morning East Coast time, 12 a.m. our time, we're at war. Even though we didn't go to Congress. I miss presidents that came to us at 8 o'clock, 5 p.m. our time, and told us we were probably gonna be prepared for war. And we're up to 6 service members dead. And what did he tell us? That just happens. So I'm going to tell you what I told the people when I went to the church the other day. It is not their children at war. It is not their children they are ever going to send out there. Matter of fact, no one in his family has ever served. It is going to be our babies that are going to be out here. And so as we know, we are a military town. We have plenty of members out here whose families are still active. And I hope as this is continuing, we will continue to support them, even from within. We will continue to support them and provide whatever support we can, because the deployments are rolling out for a war that we have no idea why we're there, how long we're going to be there, what the point of us being there is, and what's going to happen. By the way, $5 gas should be hitting us by next week, because Iran is tired of the United States playing bullies and feeling like they can get away with it, because that's the way our government operates. And so with that, I close for the night, and I pray for our men and women, not like other folks who will talk to me about the drapes. I pray for our men and women, because I hope this ends faster than the 12-day war. Thank you and have a good night.
Thank you. Next up, we will go to Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you to everybody, all the business owners that helped contribute to getting the mall opened. A special thank you to the fire chief, who, has taken time out of his schedule every single day to go out there and inspect all of our staff, especially those who came in on Saturday and Sunday, to make sure that, we could do whatever we could. And I just want to repeat that we'd given them all 14 days to come into compliance. Since City Council shut the mall down, it's been 11, 12 days. The tasks that they were asked to do within those 14 days were attainable. It wasn't a crazy ask that we were asking, and it wasn't, overnight. This has been months and months, and it really took shutting it down to make sure that everybody was safe. And I understand that we are so close that we're thinking that tomorrow may be the day that we're able to go back and open the mall. So I just want to say thank you to everybody that has been involved. I know there's been multiple hands moving in different directions, but we're all moving towards the same. So I just really want to say thank you to everybody involved. Other than that, under the weather, so I'll just hold my comments till the next meeting.
Thank you. Next up, Mayor Pro Tem Gonzalez.
Good evening, everyone. I just want to say thank you to the fire chief, staff, the contractors, the business owners who've made so much progress since we last saw each other here on Thursday. There were 6 outstanding violations. Now there's only 1, and I know they're pushing hard, moving forward, and as they say, going gangbusters just to get these final doors addressed. So before you know it, the mall will be reopened, and there'll be definitely more activity. Employees, families will be employed, and we'll definitely have some good news there at the mall. And looking forward to that. I'm excited, and that we're moving in the right direction. So with that, I'll close my comments.
Thank you to all of my colleagues, and to just bring it home here, a couple of closing comments. I won't repeat everything on the mall, but also just, thank you once again to all of our staff and all of my colleagues as well for, just making sure that we reopen that mall in a safe manner and as quickly as possible. And it looks like we're hopefully going to get there, if not tomorrow, at some point within the next couple of days. So very, very glad to see how quickly the progress has progressed. And I look forward to seeing that mall reopen so that the businesses can reopen, business owners can get back into their shops, customers, clients can get back into that mall and start, enjoying everything that mall has to offer. And also, all the projects that are on pause right now, like the museum and anything else, that we can resume those and, in the near future, provide some of these new amenities that the community is asking for. And so really, really look forward to continuing to work with our businesses to ensure their success. Also, would like to provide a brief update regarding the League of California Cities Board of Directors meeting. So just as a brief crash course, the League of California Cities is an organization statewide that comprises of membership, which is the cities within the state of California. Our members, if they pay their dues, Moreno Valley is one of them. There's only, I think, 9 cities in the entire state that do not participate in the League of Cities. But I went up to Northern California last week, or excuse me, almost 2 weeks ago now, because there was an item on the agenda that has been kind of coming up for several years now, and it kind of came up again. Luckily, this time I happen to be on the board of directors, so this is why it's so important to sit on these boards, because you not only get a vote, but you also have a voice, and you can talk to other cities. You build those relationships with mayors, council members from other cities up and down the state that sometimes have similar shared interests, sometimes have competing interests, but at least there's those open lines of dialogue. So when it was all said and done, this one particular item, for the most part, of the 6 pieces that comprise that item, 5 of them did not move forward. And if they had moved forward, it would have started a process that eventually would have ended up possibly with a constitutional amendment on the ballot to be voted on by the voters of California, that if passed would have taken away about $15 million annually from the city of Moreno Valley's budget. $15 million. That is a huge hit. And so after a lot of work, thank you to our staff, Brian Mohan, everybody else that was a part of that, that managed to get those 5 recommendations voted down. And so at least that $15 million for the most part is safe. There was one component that did survive, essentially having to do with out-of-state e-commerce sales tax revenue that will be restructured at some point in the near future in collaboration with the CDTFA. And so we might take a minor haircut on that, but at least we were able to survive the biggest hit that possibly could have come down the train tracks to the city of Moreno Valley. So just a brief update there on the League of California Cities. Had the chance this past Saturday to attend the Moval Pony grand opening ceremony throughout the first pitch, along with other dignitaries, elected officials. That was really, really nice. It was the kids that came out, two teams, Dodgers versus Angels. Nice, bright uniforms. It was beautiful. It's a little hot, but everybody had a great time. So thank you to Moval Pony for the invitation. Also, yesterday had the chance to attend Vista del Lago's ribbon cutting ceremony for their brand new Raven Health Center. Amazing. If you get a chance to check it out, this is a new building with many classrooms and laboratories, simulation rooms as well for future healthcare practitioners, EMTs, nurses, etc. Amazing job. And this trajectory of high school students getting college credit, university credit, college degrees now is being expanded to these new programs for healthcare and nursing and future EMTs with our fire department, etc. So super excited about that. Congratulations to Moreno Valley Unified School District, all the board members, and I look forward to seeing all of those graduations in the future. Also, just 2 invitations to close out. CarPros Kia, we have a ribbon cutting on March 12th, which is next Thursday, so find more information on that on our website if you would like. And then last but not least, the Multicultural and Art Festival that has been mentioned as well. Next Saturday, this is an annual event that we've had for, I want to say, maybe 3 or 4 years now at the amphitheater. And so look forward to seeing you out there so we can have a good time. So with that, y'all, everybody stay safe, and we'll see you at the next meeting. Thank you. And our last item is item Q. And I know for the past couple of meetings, we have been allowing for public comment on this item, but I did want to just read something into the record as well. If you give me just a second to make sure that I have the language here in front of me. So for item Q, until a majority of the City Council approves an official policy to allow public comment on future agenda items in consultation with our city attorney, as presiding officer, we will no longer be calling or inviting for public comments on item Q. So with that, I will look to my colleagues to see if there are any future agenda item requests. Councilmember Baca Santa Cruz.
I'd like to bring an item forward to discuss public comments on item Q, future agenda items.
Okay, seeing no second on that, are there any other future agenda requests? Seeing none, we will go ahead and move into adjournment at exactly 7 p.m. Have a good night.